In this installation, my intent is to have the person walk into here, feel very uncomfortable walking about on these fragile, breaking things. In fact, your feet, you might feel a little unsteady on your feet. And then you have to manage to find your way into an enclosure. And then when you're in that enclosure, you end up watching a really horrific video of children maiming and killing and harming animals, and adults encouraging them to do that. And so I'm essentially putting you in the place of a trapped pigeon and forced to watch something unpleasant, feel unpleasant, and not sure about your surroundings. You don't feel quite safe walking in or walking out.
Thousands of pigeons may be slaughtered in a single day. Dead and wounded pigeons are everywhere. Still other victims escape the area wounded, only to fall later to suffer a lingering death. Unlike traditional hunters, pigeon shooters don't want to have to track their prey. And God help should they have to actually get dirty, or Lord Almighty, get bloody. So what do these cold, cowardly doilies do? Well, if you're a pigeon shooter, you hire young kids to get dirty and bloody and do all the killing for you. The kids load the boxes with live pigeons for the killers. The kids go out and pick up the shot birds, most of which are still alive. Kids are supposed to finish the birds off by slamming or stomping them, or by pulling their heads off. As the day goes on, however, the kids tire of all the killing and simply throw the birds into the barrels alive. The victims slowly suffocate under the weight of other victims.
What was the experience like?
Oh, it was the crunching. It's almost like aggressive. It's like you kind of feel like almost like assaulted as you're maybe accosted by the sound. It's weird crunching. Yeah.
I use clay pigeons because they're a placeholder for environmental issues, for animals. They're fragile, they break, they're disposable. They seem like an inexhaustible amount, but yet they're finite, and they're expendable. We consider these expendable, and I worry that's how we feel about most natural things, whether it's natural resources, animals. We think it's inexhaustible, cheap, and expendable. This installation is made out of about 1,000 clay pigeons that are called White Fire Bios. On their boxes it says White Fire, it has people shooting. It says handle carefully. It says target on it. It says fragile as eggs. And I have a netting around an enclosure which you have to walk through. And when you get through, you watch a film of a Pennsylvania pigeon shoot where they starve pigeons and put them in boxes, and then they pull the box open. This pigeon, who has been raised in captivity, gets its first taste of freedom. It steps out of the box and someone shoots it. Now, the shooting doesn't kill the animal. The shooting usually maims the animal. So after they're done shooting 10 or 12 pigeons, in a day they'll kill thousands of pigeons. After they're done shooting pigeons, they send children, 8 to 10-year-olds, out into the field to pick up the dying and injured pigeons. These children grab these pigeons, they throw them around, they stomp on them, and then they chop their heads off, or they break their necks, or they leave them dying in a massive pile. It's a frightening video, but it's really, really a metaphor for what's happening in environmental issues today.
Unlike traditional hunters, pigeon shooters don't want to have to track their prey. And God help should they have to actually get dirty, or Lord Almighty, get bloody. So what do these cold, cowardly doilies do? Well, if you're a pigeon shooter, you hire young kids to get dirty and bloody and do all the killing for you. The kids load the boxes with live pigeons for the killers. The kids go out and pick up the shot birds, most of which are still alive. Kids are supposed to finish the birds off by slamming or stomping them, or by pulling their heads off. As the down, however, it gets tired of all the things and simply throw the birds into barrels and lock.
You might think that this installation is purely about pigeon shoots, but I don't actually think of that small of a picture. I think there's a macro picture of that where the pigeon shoot is the micro. I think about these as placeholders for living things, or even for placeholders for a fragile environment.